Hey guys, Grandma 55 here coming at you. I noticed you guys like my blogs more than my gaming. If you guys like me to do blogs every day, that would be okay. I'm okay with that. Let's see. What can I tell you guys today? Oh, a thing that really sucks is when you're hungry and you have to go make yourself some food. Be very cautious, like stuff that's hot or, just think that if you have to make boiling water in a pot, only fill it what you need. And then when you take it out, make sure you have both hands on the handle, pull them gently, go over to the sink, lay it in the sink, and then do what you have to do. Try not to use any oil because oil spatters. Because doing oil, I usually, anytime I cook something, like if I use my George Foreman or I use my crisper or anything like that, I take it and put it on the table, do what I need to do, put it in the oven, and then when I take it out, I gotta let it cool off before I can take it to my table and do what I have to do. But when I have my George Foreman in that, I can't set it on the table because my plugs are down lower. So I usually put it in one of my wooden chairs and I set it on it and I do whatever I want to do. But being in a wheelchair or crutches is more frustrating, especially if you guys would actually realize how small my kitchen is. It's like a little pathway. There's my sink, there's my stove, and it's so small that sometimes I get my wheelchair stuck on either the cupboards or the fridge because it's super tiny. My dining room is pretty big, not too big, but a lot of times, I got my grandbaby stroller in there. I got my crutch thing. I got everything stacked up in the corner right by my table. So it gets very aggravating. Now, I am really good at cooking. I love to cook. My kids even told me I should open a restaurant, which I don't think my food's that good. My dad actually had a restaurant. He tried to, be able to serve people in that. And then they started smoking and families would come in and they'd be like, well, is there a non-smoking section? And there wasn't because it was too small anyway. But my daughter, her best thing that she likes is my French toast. Because I use certain things, which I'm never going to show you because I'm not showing my secrets of my recipes. That's one thing I won't, do. I can show you how to make it, but not make it, but I'll show you how to cook it. Which I probably won't do anyways, because if I do, you'll know my secrets. So, anywho, I don't know what I'm going to do today. My grandbaby's coming very, very shortly. I'm going to actually look at my phone. Yeah, because my grandbaby is coming back from her grandma's. Her dad's mom. So they're bringing her here. So you'll be able to see my grandbaby. But she's a character. I love her so much. She keeps me motivated and she makes me so happy when she's here. I do a lot of watching her while her mom's at work. Her dad would barely even see her. It's lucky that she would go once or twice every month, which is ridiculous because they used to take her a lot and now it's like they won't barely ever take her. Which is, it doesn't matter to me. My daughter's got to deal with that stuff. I stay out of it. But my daughter never had that problem because her dad was abusive. When I found out I was pregnant, I thought it would change, and it never did. I learned through that of you can't trust everyone. If you're getting beat up by a man, that doesn't mean he loves you. Yeah, he'll bring you flowers or he'll bring you a necklace and he'll try to bribe you. And no, if someone's hitting you, you need to go out and get help. I had to go to a abusive shelter for 2 days, I think it was, so they could keep me safe. And then after that, I was able to go to my mom's and talk to my mom. And then I had to talk to my dad because I had left on bad terms. I told my dad where to shove it. Yeah. So I talked to my mom talked to my dad, and I was able to stay there. I was pregnant the entire time staying at my mom's. And he had called my parents' house, which I have no clue how he got my number of my parents' house. But he calls and he demands to see his son. And I'm like, well, you're an idiot because it's not a boy. It's a girl. And he was like, well, I'm getting custody of my daughter. And to me, I was like, oh my gosh, what is he going to do? I was terrified. And I ended up having the baby and everything. And they wanted to take a picture of me and my daughter, and there was a snowstorm, and I didn't want him knowing where I was at. So I told them no. A lot of times I'd go somewhere and I was so scared that he would just pull up and, hurt me or hurt her. And so anytime I left with her, I always bring my sister. Because, she would have grabbed my daughter and she would have taken off and I would have dealt with them. But the thing is, I learned because of all those concussions and stuff, I have memory loss. A lot of times, I usually repeat myself. I'll say something to my kids and then I'll repeat what I said, but it's not like I say it and then I repeat it just then. No, I tell a story to them. And then I forget I told them, and then I repeat it. And then my kids are like, Mom, Mom, Mom. And I'm like, what? And they're like, I already heard it. And then I try to continue with my story. And they're like, Mom, I told you to stop. It's like, ew. But, yeah, my kids get aggravated because there's sometimes, I told them something a week ago, and then I repeat it again. And they're like, why do you do this, Mom? I'm like, I don't know. And no, I don't have any illness. Well, I do have an illness, mental disabilities. But I just want to let you guys know, if you're in an abusive relationship, get out of it. That's your best bet. My daughter didn't even know who her father was. I had told her, I think around when she was 12. And that's when her stepdad ended up going to jail. But he was the best dad. He was the greatest dad in the whole world. He made one mistake and he paid for it. He went to jail. But it sucked because the kids didn't have anyone to grow up. And with my mental condition, it was like the kids were taking care of me. Well, now that I'm older and we moved here to get away from there, I'm taking less medication here than I am there. But with everything that had gone on and had happened, we moved here and, they weaned me off most of that medication that they were pretty much shoving down my throat. And now I'm a lot better. I wake up certain times, and I'm awake all day. Well, there's sometimes, like last night, I didn't get to bed till almost like 2:33, and then woke up at like 11:30. So I don't sleep very long. Sometimes I get 7 hours and I'm good. And other times, I can't sleep at all and toss and turn. But yeah, this cast is like really annoying though. I just ordered some more stuff on Amazon. I like to do cross stitch. It keeps my mind, focused or whatever. I'm still waiting for her grandma to show up. Yeah. If you notice this morning, I got up and it looked like my toes were like a different color. And they always say, if your toes are cold, you should go to the doctor. Well, if it's wintertime and your toes are cold, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, they're going to be cold. It's winter. Usually I put a sock on it or whatever. If you guys want to know how to put a sock on your foot, I'm going to take my slipper off. And what you do is you don't need to cover your whole cast. You just put it on like that. And you just have it over your toes. You don't have to have it like totally on it or whatever. But usually I do that. But there's a lot of times if you're in a wheelchair and you're trying to get around corners, I always use my left foot to move around if I can't use my hands. Because like I said, my kitchen is super small and I have to pull back. So, but if there's anything else you guys want me to do today, I'll probably do a later video with me and my grandbaby. So you guys know how cute and adorable she is. All right, guys. Well, I guess that's it for now. See you guys later. Grandma 55. I'm out. Deuces.